have enough confidence that OSU would lose. This is a long line of mishaps. You'd see them at Willie's more than you'd ever see them at Ag Hall in class. Let me put you that way. Hello, welcome to the Kenny and the Ponie Show. This probably will be considered our first technical broadcast, but Kenny and I have broadcasted several times before. Today is March 12th, 2026, and here we are. And this is the first time I'm really officially doing this, and I am semi-retired. Kenny, I'm out of the VA. I started the VA on February the 3rd, 2020, and I ended February the 2nd, 2026. I put in 6 years exactly, and I had enough of Trump's America. And moving on, I call it semi-retirement, and I'm going to keep working again, and I'm looking into setting up a nonprofit organization for veterans, specifically for Native Americans. Yeah. And I want to throw that out there. And thank you for all the support and everything. I know you've been a friend through all of this because God knows we need our friends when you're working for the federal government.
No joke.
I'll just leave that there. I'm sure everyone has been watching the news. And also, I was going to another announcement. I want to make an announcement. This is going to be playing your favor, Kenny, because it's going to make me be a very, very clean person online.
Okay.
I have started an exploratory committee looking at all possible political races I could participate in, whether as a candidate or otherwise. I'm looking at the tribal chief election for the Cherokee Nation as a candidate and one of the council members of the District 4. I've got some ideas that need to go on, one of which, how about ending corruption? We will go back to that later on future ones because I've already been asked to talk about some things that's going on in Cherokee Nation right now. Looks really good over there. I don't know how long it's been since you've been over to Tahlequah, Kenny. It looks nice over there.
Last time I was there was when you and I were there a few weeks ago. So, yeah.
A lot going on, a lot of building, a lot of activities, things of that nature.
I'll take that back. I did. I had to go over and pick up some equipment for a sleep study. They thought I had sleep apnea, and I had to do a home test. And I come back from near the hospital area. If anybody's familiar with Tahlequah and the hospital areas, but it took me like 45 minutes just to get through Tahlequah. Just the traffic is so crazy. That's how big Tahlequah.
Have you had the overnight deal yet, though?
No, I haven't had to stay overnight there yet, but
okay.
But yeah, that's coming because they've ordered that test. So
okay, that's cool. I've had it. I've been there. Hang in there.
Yeah,
But
as far as Tahlequah goes, it's growing. The Tahlequah is growing faster than its infrastructure can handle it. So
yes,
like I say, it took me 45 minutes to get from the hospital area. I wasn't at the hospital, but that area to like back over to the Cherokee Nation, like leaving out of town. So, it's just insane the amount of traffic over there now and stuff. So that was also about 4:30. No, it was around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So rush hour. But yeah, I mean, who would have thought Tahlequah has a rush hour traffic?
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a thing. Muskogee used to be like that, thriving.
Yeah.
And one of the areas I'm looking at trying to improve over there is the Muskogee Fairgrounds. I think I've got ideas for that place.
Okay. Yeah.
For Cherokee Nation. And honestly, if it's right on the border with Creek Nation, you could probably compromise and do a dual kind of a project together with both of them.
Get them both involved. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember this for that place. Lane Frost used to ride at bulls out of that little round barn building.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's got history there.
Yeah.
It's just something that we need to take care of. And it's gone too far. And it's too bad it's gone this far. So.
Where I work at, yeah, I'm on the emergency response team, and every year we have called all hazards training, and we do it. There's a fire training facility at the fairgrounds, and it's in between the livestock barn area and the racetrack, and so of course it's several stories tall and all that. It's made for multiple incidents. So if you get up on top of that, look back down over where the round barn is and the livestock pen area and all the roofs of all the livestock areas just caved in. It's sad because in high school, all the FFA competitions we did and livestock shows and all that, and even going even younger when we was kids, they had the state fair there, and the Muskogee State Fair was actually a pretty big deal back in the day. But
yes, it was.
But there's some bad instances happened, and it just kind of went downhill from there. But yeah, it'd be great to see it come back to life.
Yeah, and I think it can, and I think there's certain ways we can do it where it can be family oriented too, if you know how to do the property management right. There's a lot of property there. I don't know if you remember, just because they got a Thunderbird Speedway thing behind there, I think, or I don't know if it's called Thunderbird, but it was a speedway where they did round dirt races.
It's there.
Okay, yeah,
because side note on that is they had a big overhead thing out over. They've removed that, but my grandpa, he was a carpenter and never come back from World War II. He went into carpentry, and he was one of the carpenters that built that grandstand and that overhead hanging thing and all that. They've taken that down because it's getting ready to fall down, but the grandstand's still there. But yeah, my grandpa was one of the carpenters that helped build that grandstand.
It needs refurbishing. It needs some redesigning.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that need to be done there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of good space.
Yeah.
A lot of wonderful space.
The city of Muskogee is occupying a lot of that. They've turned into their maintenance facilities and things like that. All that on the north and east ends of it for sure. But the west end of it, where the county barns and all that, or not county, but the county live and what am I thinking of? The county agriculture extension.
Yeah.
Those are all on the west end.
4-H extension and all that.
The 4-H and all that, and where the round barn is and all that. But yeah, and then you got not livestock, but the Roundup Club is just directly to the south of there too. So
right, correct.
Yeah, and it's still there.
Yeah, and I just think there's a lot of missed opportunities with the resources there.
Yeah. Well, I think some powerful people in the city of Muskogee had this idea of Hatbox becoming like this world-renowned, event place, and they've taken everything from the fairgrounds area to Hatbox. And I get it; they had a vision and all that, but you got a lot of people that's been here for way longer than they have that really want things to still happen at the fairgrounds instead of out at Hatbox. So,
correct. There's history there.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it completely you can bring back, but you can bring back the rodeoing part.
Because that round barn is iconic.
Right. I don't know about the livestock show thing, because that's kind of the Hatbox thing now.
Yeah.
But I would say you can salvage the reputation of it with the country music even. If I became either the chief or the council person, I am going to champion UFC fights. I'm going to champion WWE stuff. I want people to come there.
The round barn's big enough, especially for a staged event like that. You could put the ring, or what, the boxing ring or whatever, in the center. There's enough ground space to throw tables and chairs right there around it, and then you got the stands area around all the way around. That'd be great for UFC and stuff like that. So,
by the way, I've been to a lot of rock concerts or country music concerts, a lot of concerts in general.
Yeah.
My first concert ever was at the Muskogee Fairgrounds when Charlie Pride played there. The song "Kiss an Angel Good Morning."
Yep.
I mean, all those old songs.
Oh yeah. Yep. Burgers and fries and cherry pies and. Yep. Whenever I was a kid, Charlie Pride is my mom's favorite singer. She just loved Charlie Pride back in the day. So
He's got a great voice.
yeah.
All right. Well, moving on, I want to talk about. Hang on. I got to ask you about this. I'm interrupted. What's going on with your electric company?
Oh, it's not my electric company.
Oh,
no, it's in my house.
Oh,
yeah, it's in my house. A couple days ago, I was microwaving something. Next thing you know, it all went off. So okay, maybe I tripped a breaker and went to my breaker box. Breaker was not tripped, so I went ahead and turned it off and back on, and I heard a beep in the kitchen. Went back in, but it went back off, so it was like the circuit was dead. And so anyhow, I the next day I turned this breaker back on. I heard a beep in the kitchen. Well, the beep was my microwave coming back on, but anyhow, and I went back and checking it, just beeped briefly and went back off. So I thought, yeah, I've got a bad breaker. The breaker wasn't tripping, but I thought maybe the breaker was bad on the inside and it just wasn't tripping. It just losing connection. But I left it off and went and bought a new breaker at the hardware store. And a while ago, I hooked it all back up, turned it on. Everything was working great. Okay, that was what it was. Bad breaker. And then like 30 minutes later, it quit working again. So it's not a breaker now at this point because the breaker's been replaced. So it's there's one, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4 electrical outlets and one light switch on that circuit. So it's got to be one of those items that has failed, however. So I'm just going to, this weekend, I'm going to have to just go in and just replace all of those because I know what's on that circuit. So replace everything that's on that circuit and it should work. So yeah, that's what I got going on there. So I don't have that was also the same circuit I had my coffee pot on, which was detrimental. So I definitely had to move the coffee pot to another area of the kitchen so I could at least have my coffee. But yeah, it also, I use a toaster oven to do my cooking, my oven stuff in. And so that's dead. My espresso maker is dead. My microwave's dead. So yeah.
Yeah.
But the coffee pot is still working because I moved it to another location. And as long as I got the coffee pot, I can manage everything else.
So are you going to try to do this electrical stuff on your own or are you going to hire it out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not paying anybody to do that. I'll do it myself.
You got to ask this to everybody in Oklahoma because everybody's got a different answer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? My house burns down.
So let's talk about the Oklahoma State concert that happened last year.
The Boys from Oklahoma concert?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Kenny, at any time on this, because I'm just playing with just kind of the general knowledge of what's going on with it. From my understanding, that concert was NIL, money-oriented type of concert. It's supposed to be raising money for college football players.
I thought so.
Maybe even just athletics in general, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
That was my understanding. We could be wrong, but that was my understanding.
I'm going to tell you the rumor. The rumor is that they made somewhere around $21 million.
Okay.
9 of it went to the promoter. 9 of it was split up to the bands.
Mm-hmm.
And only $3 million went to the players.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's a travesty.
So, sounds like the promoter and the players need to get together. And the band. If these bands are Oklahoma State fans, like who was Cody, I don't know who all was there. Jason Boland and
can I go off right
Cross
quick?
Canadian Ragweeds and all that?
May I go off right quick?
Yeah.
This is a long line of mishaps and mishandlings with any type of concert that deals with anything in Oklahoma State, beginning with Faith Hill, when they got her there, and she never sang a tune. She never sang a note, and we gave her $50,000 for her just to show up. This is a long line of mishaps. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, they're going to have another concert this spring.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's NIL related. I don't know if they're blowing that horn anymore.
I haven't heard.
But that was horrible what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that they got to make their money, but the bulk of that should have went to the players. 51%.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of these nonprofits, or like cancer or foreign kids or, kids in impoverished countries and all that. 90% of the money goes to basically the founder of the organization. So,
yeah,
but that's kind of a low blow, saying they're going to fund NIL and then, spend it all in other places. So
I will say this. If the bands and the promoter think it's that unfair, what I just said, then they ought to be screaming from the rooftops of whatever expenses they've been gouged by whatever people are in Oklahoma gouging them. Because we want to know, because this was supposed to be kind of like for the young kids to come here to go to Oklahoma State, to go to school, go to football, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm putting them on.
You're blasting. You're on blast.
You're on blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. And they can have a conversation with you and your what the candidacy and all that.
Yeah, that's my deal. Is this is not even really a conversation with any type of candidate that I'd be looking for, because I don't think anything covers what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this much: people spent a lot of money on that concert.
Yeah,
and they thought it was going to go to those players.
I don't know if a lot of people bought the tickets because of the NIL and the players. I think they were buying them just to see the concert. So the people I talked to, anyhow. So, but yeah,
that's a good question. Then I ask you again: was the first concert really about NIL then?
I think it was about people wanting to watch their favorite Red Dirt singer and get drunk. I think that's what a lot of them. The people that I've talked to, that's all they were concerned about was their favorite singer. Some of them could have cared less about football and NIL and all that. So,
but they would never got the concert in the first place if it wasn't for the NIL.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I do know, of course, this part of Oklahoma. I mean, 90% of your friends are going to be OU supporters. So, and there was a lot of probably 50% of the people I knew that went to that concert were OU fans. They were like, "Well, we're just going there for the concert. We don't care about OSU." So I'm like, "Well, you bought the ticket, so you're helping support OSU," but they're like, "No, it's not. We're going there for the concert."
So you're saying that there's a significant portion of the people that attended last year didn't even realize it was for NIL. It was just they were there just for the party. Is that what you're saying?
I'd say probably at least 30% of 35% of them were.
I'll be honest. I didn't think their popularity amongst the bands was that strong.
Yeah.
And look, you got to forgive me on that one.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with them in the 90s. I knew who they were at OSU, and some of them were, I'm surprised they lived this long.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. From knowing them back in the day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Seriously. And that's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all good.
You'd see them at Willie's more than you'd ever see them at Ag Hall in class. Let me put it that way. Now look at everybody that's in Ag Hall and look at them now. Huh?
Look at everybody that's in Ag Hall, and then look at them now. So,
Well, some of them look pretty good, and some of them don't.
yeah, yeah,
Some of them got big houses, and some of them do
yeah,
not.
yeah.
And so that's
A
just the
lot, a
way
lot
it
of them
is.
is an Ag Hall are still punching cows around and rolling around in the dirt. So,
That's right. So
me, 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 me included.
it's an interesting, Oklahoma State's an interesting. Both of us went there. All the people that are
Yeah.
watching
Mm-hmm.
this, we both went there in Stillwater. The people you meet there, it's just so interesting. Some of them you'll know all the rest of your life. And
Yeah.
some of them you may not see again for 20 years, but it's like you pick up a conversation like it was from 1996.
Oh yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's not a big deal. And
Yep.
it's a really unique town. And I need to finish the story,
Oh, go for it.
okay, of what when we did the promo teaser, I
Mm-hmm.
talked about the $100 bet. The
Oh
$100
yeah,
bet that was going to
in
give me
Colorado.
$100,000. The hundred. Okay,
Okay, so nobody knows about that. So let's just just start that over from
the
right
beginning.
now and the beginning and tell the story again.
Okay, well, what happened was I decided I'd went to Blackhawk, Colorado, Maristar Casino, and I was just wanting to go there after it was like the last weekend I was retiring out up in Colorado, Denver, for the
Mm-hmm.
VA. And I wanted to go to the sports part of it. That's the only thing I did, Kenny. And I'm that way with casinos. I'm
Yeah.
not a big gambler. I
Mm-hmm.
walked in there, didn't even hit a slot machine or anything else. And I went straight to the sports department. And I went up to this kid who looks like he wonder if he's old enough to work there. And I was like, "Hey, do you take sports bets?" And he goes, "Yes, sir, we sure do." And I was like, I only really follow one major team, and it's a college team, and it's Oklahoma State Cowboys. And I said, I wanted to put $100 on the national championship game, showing that they're going to win it all next year. And I said, can I put a bet on that? And he goes, sure. Let me go pull this up. And it took him a little bit, and he pulled it all up on the computer and everything. And he said, sir, take a look at your screen. If you give us $100, this is what it pays out. And it showed $100,000. And I said, oh yeah, that looks good. I gave him the $100 bill and everything, and he was like, all right. So we sat there for a second. He goes, wait a minute, sir, there's an issue. And I said, okay. And I sat there for 2 or 3 minutes. And he goes, hey, Larry, come over here a second. Take a look at this. And that was Larry's in the back. And he goes, you're not, he goes, I can't believe this. And he goes, sir, here's your ticket with $95 change. And I said, what? He goes, they won't take the $100 bet. I said, you guys are a casino. You're supposed to take any bet. And you just told me what it was worth. And he goes, no, they're not taking it. So I got a $5 bet that could pay out $5,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they declined the $95 other dollars. I got $95 change back. They didn't have enough confidence that OSU would lose.
So why not adjust the odds to compensate for that?
I can't tell you that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they told me, sir, feel free to come back tomorrow and try again and maybe add another bet. I was like, sure.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the only bet I was here for.
I'll be halfway to Oklahoma tomorrow.
I was. I was halfway to Oklahoma that day. What are you talking about?
Hey, right.
So and the only reason it's easier to drive at night through all the madness than it is during the day today, because there's so many people there now, Kenny.
Oh, yeah.
I would tell you this about, and I tell everyone that's listening, and it's the same with Hawaii. You could drive around the mountains or drive around the island, or you can look at the island and you can look at the mountains, but you're not driving and looking around. If you do, you're going to wreck. There's that many people. There's no way you can look out.
I went with friends of mine skiing. It's been 6 years ago now, but we left. They lived in Denver area, and we drove from Denver up to the mountains. We're 50 miles into the mountains. Next thing you know, it comes down to a stop and go traffic, middle of nowhere in the mountains. And I said, is there a wreck up here? What? And they said, no, this is normal. This is normal for weekend traffic in the mountains because everybody's leaving the towns and they're trying to get to the mountains. And I'm like, and I didn't enjoy it because there were so many people out there where I was wanting to go that you couldn't enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I loved Colorado. I still like to visit, but it's not somewhere I'd want to live. I'll tell you what, I'd rather live in the panhandle of Oklahoma now.
It's pretty bare out there.
There's not a whole lot of people, but Guyman's got a super center, and hey.
If you go to Walmart Supercenter and Amazon, that's all you need.
Well, I talked to the judge one of the judges that works up there. Yeah. I literally went in and talked to him, and they were like, Amazon doesn't get here in 2 days. You can forget about that stuff. That's not happening. I was like, okay, well, I mean, but they're like, not 48 hours. Sometimes it takes a week, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So, but you don't have hardly any traffic. I mean,
you could drive, 30 miles in 20 minutes out there.
My thing is you got to have a super center.
Yeah. I was going to take a job on a farm. This has been 30-something years ago. And it was right after I left OSU, and I was going to take a job on a farm out in West Kansas near Goodland. And this is before super centers are even a thing. But we was out there, and I had some time to kill before I met up with the farmer that owned the farm. And there was nothing on my radio. I hit seek or search, whatever, on the radio.
Right.
And it would land on 3 stations. That was it. One was a talk news station. One was a Spanish station. One was a religious station. And no country station. So I started it over, nothing. It just kept rolling around the whole frequency dial. And that was it. And so anyhow, I just turned the radio off. Met up with the farmer, and I got in his truck. We drove around his farm for a while, and we visited and all that. And I said, and I think his name is Steven. I said, Steven, I'm a single guy. I'm not married. I have no connection to anybody. I said, what's a guy like me to do on a day off or the evening or whatever if I want to, go out and take a girl on a date, if I can meet somebody to take on a date out in that area. But so if I want to go on a date or go out in the town or whatever. So what's there for me to do? And literally, I said, what about grocery shopping? I said, I saw one tiny grocery store. And he said, there's a Walmart over in such and such town. I don't know which one it was. I said, well, how far away is that? And he said, 65 miles. I said, okay. I said, well, where's like the closest nice restaurant? He said, it's probably about 40 miles away. Yeah, I didn't take the job.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed the work because, that was the type of work I loved. But for my personal social life, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to drive 50-something miles to the closest Walmart. So, if you live anywhere in the Tulsa metro area, there's a Walmart within 3 miles of you, guaranteed.
The only way I would tell you that most women would go for that out there is probably the ones that were super scared of COVID and wanted to get away from everyone.
Well, we're talking mid-90s here, so.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I said this is back where I got right out of OSU.
Oh.
So we're talking back in like 95, 96.
Well,
like that. So yeah,
I would say that the roads weren't even really that good compared to now either. I mean, people would fly Cessnas from Guyman to Amarillo to get, stuff from Walmart back then, 90s.
But yeah, and it may be different now, but back then the closest Walmart from where that guy lived was like 65 miles. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think this job's for me. So.
No, that's just too much right there.
Yeah. So
that's just.
But we're talking West Kansas, and you can stand in one place and you can watch your dog run away for 2 weeks. So. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's funny. It is. It's
yeah,
you're right though. There's nothing
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
There's
I
I
mean,
mean
if the cows get out, they might be dead before you get to them, died from old age. So,
I when I would come back from Colorado, if I'm driving through
mhm,
Kansas, I try to
yeah.
do it at night
Oh, yeah.
because there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing to see.
I like it during the daytime though, because, and this is the farmer in me, because I love looking at farmland. So,
Well, there's
now
plenty of it.
there's plenty of, at least West Kansas, you're looking at farm. Like if you're driving through West Texas and all that, you're looking at tumbleweed,
Well,
rolling hills and tumbleweed, and that's it. So,
I say to you that these days you're looking at a lot of these gigantic windmills too.
windmills, yeah, windmills, and probably feedlots.
Okay, when it comes to the Oklahoma State football team, Kenny, I am very curious on your thoughts
Okay.
because it seems like well, I'll just tell you, some of my family members are very upset because one of them is a North Texas State alum,
Hmm.
and heck, it looks like it's North Texas State 2.0 is
That's,
what
yeah.
Oklahoma State is now.
They brought the coach and half the players.
Yes. Um,
I
what
I
what are
got.
your expectations?
I mean, I hope for the best, but I mean, I think they might be able to somewhat compete for a Big 12 championship, but I don't think they're going to get there. I mean, if he's got the same coach, same players that was at North Texas, then I mean, could North Texas compete in Big 12? So,
No.
I got high hopes for him, but hopefully they picked up some good recruits in the off season and all that. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they're non-conference. They'll probably do well in the non-conference once they hit the conference and they start hitting teams like Texas Tech and Utah and all that. Then yeah, they're gonna get some humbling real quick.
Do you think they'll at least
Honest
make a bowl
opinion.
game?
I think they'll go to a bowl game. I think they'll be good enough to make it to a bowl, but probably like the one they've gone to the most. Was it the Texas Tax-Act Bowl or what bowl? The one that's in Houston,
Right.
which is not a bad bowl to go to because I've been to that bowl game before. And but yeah, I think every time they went there, they played Texas A&M. But the year I went, they got beat by them. But it's a fun bowl game to go to. But yeah, I think that's what they're looking at. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they go in and just mop the floor. But the realistic side of me says it's probably not going to happen.
I think we need to create a poll.
Okay.
I think, and this has been a great debate, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to weigh in on it just yet. but the debate has been whether or not Mike Gundy deserves a statue at Oklahoma State.
No.
I think we need a poll in the field.
Okay. And I'll be the first one to vote right now.
No.
I'm going to say no. Not that I don't like him. I like Mike Gundy. I respect him. He was an awesome quarterback. He was an awesome coach and all that. I mean, yeah, he's more wins than any other coach in Oklahoma State history. But how many Big 12 championships did he win? One. How many times did he get to the NCAA playoffs? 0. Yeah. So, I mean, the statue out front, you got Boone Pickens, obviously, because he's the one that dumped the money for the stadium and all that.
Right.
I get that. You got Barry Sanders, Heisman Trophy winner. That a statue should be reserved for a Heisman. If you go down to OU, you look at their trophies or their statues, they're Heisman Trophy winners. So, Mike Gundy didn't do either one of those. So,
a portrait, I said. I'm going with a portrait.
Yeah.
Picture.
Yeah. a picture hanging on the wall. Yeah, he needs that. Is uh, something honoring him in a trophy case or in the wall inside there. But as far as like a statue outside the stadium, no.
They better be lucky I said a picture, because some people would say a Polaroid. Hell, I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Just put a thumbtack and a Polaroid's all he deserved. Right there, Kenny. Bam.
Mm, yeah. No, Gundy. I mean, if you look back in history, he's the best coach OSU's ever had.
Agree.
And like I say, I love Pat Jones to death, and all that. But I mean, Gundy was a better coach than Pat Jones.
Yes.
But yeah, but I mean, he wasn't elite. He was great. Don't get me wrong, he was a great coach.
Yeah.
Was he elite? Was he? I mean, this kills me to say this. This kills me to say this. Was he on Bob Soup's level?
No.
He sure wasn't on Nick Saban's level.
No.
So, I mean,
what
did he do to deserve a trophy? Or what did he do to deserve a statue?
How much of it is the resources?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah.
Because we know it's hard to recruit to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Yeah, because what's there besides what you're going there for?
Right.
To
be an elite status, we have to be like Texas Tech, and you're paying to bring them in.
Yeah. Because I mean, at least if you go to like OU, you got the Oklahoma City area, you got the entire metro area. You can, if football doesn't work out for you, you got other things you can do. In Stillwater, you got two options. You can play football, or you can get a scholarship or get recruited to the NFL, or you can punch cows the rest of your life or sell insurance.
Right.
But
now, moving on a little bit, by the way, just OSU sports, though. The basketball team has gotten better. I know you don't follow it as much as I do, but they have been getting better.
Mm-hmm.
But the wrestling team has turned it around completely. They're good.
They're the only thing that really makes a person proud to say they're an OSU fan right now.
Well, yeah. And
yeah,
and trust me, I'm afraid to start watching them because I want them to win.
Because right now they won the Big 12 championship 2 years in a row.
Yes,
they're on their way to hopefully a second national championship. They beat the other two top teams. That's like the two best in the country already this year. So.
The kid, they got a kid that's just like graduated high school this December early, that Jax Forrest. I don't even think he's 18 years old, and he's pinning people that are like being in college a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
He's pinning them.
Yeah. Their wrestling team is just like on another level. So
yes,
yeah. So like they'll be like several OSU wrestlers will be probably in the next Olympics. 2028 Olympics. Yeah. So, in fact, it might be the whole wrestling team in the 2028 Olympics if it keeps us up. So,
there's a lot of more local issues, and I think you know what they are, and I'm not going to go near those right now. We need to pack it up for one day. And my announcements should be enough to get enough people to like and dislike. No, hopefully they all like.
Hopefully more like than dislike.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
hope so.
Yeah.
I, as I told you, and I want to reiterate this part, and something we had talked about when we first started talking about this show. I really wanted to be not as reined in. Even I wanted to be able to go. I wanted just to let people because so much going on right now. So much I told you so moments in the world politically.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's time for that. It wouldn't do any good anyway.
Exactly.
So
couple of hillbillies from Oklahoma, a couple of hillbillies from Muskogee County doing a podcast. Who's going to, really pay attention to it?
Well, they pay attention to it if it ever gets somewhere.
Yeah. If your name's on a ballot, it's going to get somewhere.
Right. Right. That's the thing. And that's what some people who watch it locally will go, those guys aren't hillbillies. Those aren't guys, But if you are from Washington State in Seattle watching this thing,
yes,
we are very much that's what they think of us.
If you grew up in New Jersey, Jersey City,
absolutely. So I get what you're saying.
Just the fact that there's cows within 100 feet of me right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, me too.
And I can look out my window and see tractors and plows and all that. So yeah,
I got a tractor in my backyard. It's mine.
Right? Yeah. Yep. Heck yeah.
Family, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. So I get it.
Yep.
And yes, for everyone watching that's not from Oklahoma, I do own a truck. Yes, I own a truck. I also own another vehicle too, but that's not my primary. But I own a farm truck. Yeah. Kind of have to have that in order to put feed in it for my horse and horses.
To satisfy our Colorado viewers and stuff, if we have any Colorado viewers, I drive a Subaru Outback, and it's got a kayak rack on top of it. So
there you go.
There you go. So I'm set up for Colorado. So
that's cool.
So Ponie, is there anything that because we didn't really introduce ourselves and nothing like that? Is there anything you want to introduce yourself, since this is our pilot program, say your background or anything like that, and then I'll follow up.
I would say this. I would like to say anyone who hasn't watched the last little thing that we put out a year or two back, or whenever that was, while back, I would say that Kenny and I first met each other, knew each other in second grade. We were in Cub Scouts together. His mother's a den mom. Hi, Sue. Anyway, so I want to say shout out to Sue and the family and your brother Scott and all the other relatives. Kenny and I have known each other since second grade. Happy birthday belated to you, Kenny. I took you out last weekend. It's his birthday, birthday. Mine will be in July. So we're the same age. He's a little older than me. Yeah, can't you tell he's older than me? Anyway, I work, or I'm semi-retired from the VA. I worked there for 6 years. Prior to that, I was in the courtroom for 15 years doing criminal defense and divorce work, primarily as a litigator. Still have my bar license, still practicing a little bit. I have a couple of cases going on right now civilly. And someone tried to ask me to do a family law case last week, Kenny, and I said, hell no.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you one bit.
No more divorces. Yeah. No more custody work from moi. No.
Your next act of business will be whenever I hit the Powerball lottery and I call you at 10:15 p.m. and say, we need to do something.
Yes. That's correct. That's yes. So, I do not want to do any criminal defense work at all.
Yeah.
So don't be running over anybody. Don't be killing nobody. Don't be punching anybody out at Walmart.
Well, do it at your own risk.
Wait, right.
Yeah.
So it's not, don't get me involved.
Yeah. So yeah, my name's Kenny, and like he just said, like Ponie just said, we've known each other since second grade, and at that time, if you're in country miles, it's a long ways away from each other, but Dirty Creek and where I lived at is maybe 5 miles apart from each other. So
less,
yeah. So, but out there it seemed like it was a long ways apart because we didn't ride the same school bus together. But
that's right.
But we lived near each other as kids and stayed in touch all these years. We lost track there for a little while, and then social media brought us back.
That's right.
Found each other back in social media, and I whenever he started practicing law, I use him for a little bit for some domestic stuff, but divorce.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we've been great friends, and we do a lot of stuff together. He did, he bought me dinner for my birthday this past weekend. So, but me, lived here in Fort Gibson, my entire life. And I always thought I was gonna be a farmer, and things didn't go, the way I planned. And I've kind of got into like YouTube and cameras and gear and all that. So I'm kind of a techie. That's not my main job, but I do have another, and I'll link it down in the description of this video. But I do have my own YouTube channel. I play with camera gear and stuff. But my main job is working at a local manufacturing facility, and pretty sweet job, but gig. I literally get to fly drones every day. So I'm a drone pilot, and I get to fly drones pretty much all day, every day. So, I can't complain. So,
it's cool.
So yeah, it is pretty cool. So, but yeah, we're just a couple of country boys that grew up in Muskogee County, and we're just out here talking about how we feel about the world, and we're both Oklahoma State fans, and we're both just fans of Oklahoma in general. So
that's right.
It's got its flaws. It's had good leaders. It's had corrupt leaders. That, man, that's like every place has that. So,
I refuse to give up on home.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's that simple.
Yeah. Yep. It goes back to that.
I'm not giving up on home.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're gonna with that we're gonna sign off and tune back in next week, and time to go back to the stables because the Ponie Show is over.
The same Kenny time, but the same Ponie channel.